I'm going to take a few minutes and I'm going to make a few shameless plugs here. The kids, you're welcome to join me up front if you want, or you can stay where you're at if you're more comfortable there. That's fine too. We are now having children's church and nursery. Both of those services are open and available and running now. Today we're going to take a quick walk through the Old Testament, and then starting next week we're going to start digging into the New Testament. So super excited to start doing that again. And breakout, we are not going to have kids and teens breakout tonight, just because it's really hard for me to teach 3 separate complete lessons in one day, so we're going to work on a new schedule with that and figure things out. So we are going to be having kids and teens breakout the next Sunday we have breakouts. That would be March 7th. I wrote it down. So March 7th, we will be having kids and teens breakout. And if you can't be here, we're working on setting the internet up downstairs so that you guys can join us on Zoom. What we're going to be studying during breakout is all of those tough questions that come up when we read through the Bible. Things like, who was Cain's wife and where did she come from? What really happened to the dinosaurs? And what about the Ice Age? Where does that fit in? We're going to be questioning plate tectonics, races, archaeology, evolution, and natural selection from a biblical standpoint. I'm super excited to dig into that. So we will be here in person and on Zoom with both of those next week if all goes as planned. Okay. 2 Corinthians 5:14 through 21. For the love of Christ controls us, having concluded this, that one died for all, therefore all died. And he died for all, so that they who live might no longer live for themselves, but for him who died and rose again on their behalf. Therefore, if anyone is in Christ, he is a new creature. The old things passed away. Behold, new things have come. Now all these things are from God, who reconciled us to himself through Christ and gave us the ministry of reconciliation. Namely, that God was in Christ, reconciling the world to himself, not counting their trespasses against them. And he had committed to us the world of reconciliation. Therefore, we are ambassadors for Christ, as though God were making an appeal through us. We beg you, on behalf of Christ, be reconciled to God. He made him who knew no sin to be sin on our behalf, so that we might become the righteousness of God in him. I don't remember if I said it or not, but that is for 2 Corinthians 5:14 through 21. The Bible tells us that Jesus died for us, and that when we accept and believe in him, we become new. Not just like new, but a whole new creature from the inside out. Does that mean that God's going to change our hair color or change our eye color or magically, instantly remove those extra quarantine pounds that we gained? What do you think? Yeah? No? No. Whoops, I think I'm... Okay. Therefore, if anyone is in Christ, he is a new creation. The old has gone and the new is here. If someone in our class gets a bad grade on their math test, the old us might laugh at them or brag and show off our good grade. The new us might tell them we're sorry that they didn't do very well and offer to help them study for the next test. Whoops, didn't quite get that down in there. The old us might get mad or annoyed when mom has dishes or laundry to do, so she can't play with us. The new us might offer to help her so that we can play when it's all done. The old us might get mad and throw a fit when we don't get our way. The new us might sadly but graciously say, "It's okay. If I always have my way, then you will never have your way." We're going to see what our dinosaur has to say this week. Now, you guys are peeking at what I'm doing up here. You'll have to wait and see. We are reading from Dinosaur Devotions by Michelle Medlock Adams, illustrated by Denise Turu, published by Tommy Nelson Publishing. Our dinosaur this week, I've asked Danny like 3 times how to say this, so I'm probably still not going to get it right. A Therizinosaurus. Did I get it? All right, perfect. Have you guys ever heard of a Therizinosaurus? I hadn't, I'll be honest with you. She's got some really obscure dinosaurs in here, so it's kind of cool. 1 second, my computer just decided it wanted to run an update, and we are not going to do that right now. There we go, okay. When the Therizinosaurus was first discovered in 1954, the Russian paleontologist thought it was a sea turtle, not a dinosaur. It wasn't until the 1970s, when a new group of fossils was found, that this beast was recognized as a dinosaur. And it was a funny-looking creature for sure. Scientists think they stood on their back legs and had very wide hips, a pot belly, short tail, feathers, and the longest claws of any known animal. It was a strange dinosaur, yes, but still a dinosaur. Let's face it, a sea turtle and a dinosaur are very different creatures. They would have behaved differently, eaten different things, and probably lived in different areas. Had they been side by side, it would have been obvious they were different creatures. You know, before we accept Jesus into our hearts, we are very different too. Almost as different as a sea turtle is from a dinosaur. The Bible talks about becoming a new creature in 2 Corinthians 5:17. If anyone is in Christ, the new creation has come. The old has gone, the new is here. So, here's a question for you. Since you gave your life to God, do you behave differently? Are you kinder to your family members? Do you get angry less often? Are you more patient with your little brother or sister? If you haven't changed that much since you became a new creature in Christ, ask God to make those changes in your life. Now, Pastor Dan got me these flowers over a week ago. And with Valentine's Day last week, it was really hard to find flowers. So he got me some white roses. Oh my goodness, that was like not there. White roses. So I decided that all of my flowers were a little plain, and I wanted to make them into something new. Raise your hand if you can tell me how flowers eat and drink. Anybody? Do you want to try and tell us or no? No, that's okay. Anybody else want to venture out there and say they know and want to tell us? Okay, so how it works is, well, these ones don't have roots because I cut them off. But the root drinks up the nutrients from the ground. Then they flow up the stem and into the leaves and the flowers. Right? Is that what you guys knew what I would say? Right. So when Pastor Dan bought me these flowers, I cut the stems and I put them in the water so they could keep drinking and stay beautiful longer. But since I wanted to make my white flowers into something new, I added something special to their water. Did you guys see what I added to the water? What was it? It wasn't bubbles. Do you see what it was? I added food coloring to my flowers. In a similar way, when we become a new creation in Christ, we read the Bible, we absorb its teachings, we fellowship or spend time with other Christians. And what we've learned flows up and out through us, making us beautiful like the flowers. Now, I wish I could have shown you this process from start to finish this morning. Stephanie, can we go to yeah, there we go. But this process actually takes a couple days. I started on Thursday with my white flowers. And then by Thursday evening, you can go to the next slide, they started to change just a little bit. If you guys can't see around me, you can move. So they started to change just a little bit on Thursday night. But on Friday morning, staff, you can go to the next slide, this is what we woke up to. I had to recut a couple of the stems because some of them weren't absorbing the color the way they should. But on Saturday, our flowers looked completely different from the white ones that we started with. And now finally today, I have a beautiful bouquet of colored roses. This was the original color, and these are all the new colors. Now some of you are saying, that's celery, Miss Holly? Yes. Look at what happened to the celery. This is the original celery color. And the celery really changed. The kid said it almost looks like it's a food from another planet or something. It's kind of cool looking. So what the kids noticed up here is I was putting some dye in my white flowers this morning. So you guys can kind of see the process. It does take a while, but maybe by the time Pastor Dan is done this morning, you might be able to see a little bit of change in some of these flowers. 2 Corinthians 5:17 says, "Therefore, if anyone is in Christ, he is a new creation. The old things have passed away. Behold, new things have come." As we transition this morning, when you say our memory verse with me, 2 Corinthians 5:17. Okay, therefore, if anyone is in Christ, oh, hold on guys, it is behind me. So let's just say it together. Okay, perfect. I don't know what's happening. Ready? 1, 2, 3. 2 Corinthians 5:17. Therefore, if anyone is in Christ, he is a new creation. The old things have passed away. Behold, new things have come. It works better when I know what's happening behind me. All right. Guys, if you're joining me downstairs this morning, I will meet you out in the lobby. If not, enjoy the service this morning.